This is my audience for today. There are many cases of eating disorders in the United States. According to National Eating Disorder Association, over 500,000 adolescents in the United States suffer from an eating disorder, and that number continues to increase. An eating disorder is defined as a serious emotional and physical problem that can have life-threatening consequences in male and females. The mortality rate for eating disorders is 12 times higher than any other disease for adolescents. There are 3 types of eating disorders: anorexia nervosa, bulimia nervosa, and binge eating disorder. Anorexia nervosa is characterized by not eating and in turn having extreme weight loss. Bulimia nervosa is characterized by eating and then feeling guilty about it and in turn vomiting. Binge eating disorder is compulsively eating and feeling like you have no control over what you eat and when you eat. These 3 types of eating disorders were tested in many experiments to see what could be the possible cause of an eating disorder. The first study I looked at showed the cause of social media being one to increase eating disorders. University of Haifa showed that more time spent online on websites such as Facebook and Twitter increased the risk for negative body image and eating disorders. This was because a lot of images online showed, like this middle one, are photoshopped and makes females think that they have to look a certain way. This also happens in males, showing this picture as well. This study also showed that there are many negative websites out there, such as pro-eating disorder sites that enable users to support one another in their self-destructive behavior. This leads them to think that eating disorders are a lifestyle choice and not a serious mental illness. And that causes them to not want to get any help for it. You can also see social media impacting eating disorders even in magazines such as this Star magazine. The next study I looked at was a study done by Cambridge University. They gave out questionnaires and physical examinations to 672 females between the age of 16 and 18 that were fraternal or identical twins. The researchers were very intrigued by what they found. 40% of identical twins fell in the syndrome range. That means that they were both below 85% of their ideal body weight and had at least one cognitive symptom of an eating disorder. Mostly anorexia was the number one type of eating disorder they found. This study also looked at environment. They showed identical twins that lived together or apart, and they found that it didn't matter if the twins lived together or apart. They both were just as likely to land in the syndrome stage. This was also interesting because it showed that there is a genetic component linked to eating disorders. In this study as well, they looked at rural areas and urban areas to see if that had any impact on eating disorders, and they found that it did. If you lived in a city, you were more likely to have an eating disorder than if you lived in the country. In conclusion, eating disorders is a very prevalent disease to be aware of in the United States. It is a very complex disease that has many causes, including genetic, environmental, and social media could even be linked to it.